welcome to week 8. Again, we'll just start with the safety points. So work to about a level 4 out of 10, where you can feel that you're working, but you can still speak in full sentences. If you start to feel unwell or breathless beyond how hard you feel you're working, or you're in pain, just stop. I think you've all completed PARQs, the health questionnaires, but if you haven't, get in touch and I will send you a copy. Okay, make sure you've got your chairs, weights or resistance bands if you have them, and some water. Okay, so we'll start with mobilisation and warm-up. I have a couple of additional things today, or I've changed a couple of things in and out, so the warm-up will be a little bit different. So we'll start with posture, feet together, bring your toes out, heels out. That makes sure that everything is in line. And then stand as tall as you can. Stand up as tall as you can. Shoulders nice and low, long neck. So we're going to start with mobilising top down. So take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just rotate the head to the right. Keep the shoulders low. Breathe back into the middle. And breathe out to the left. Back into the middle. Breathe out to the right. Back to the middle. And out to the left. Back to the middle. This time drop your chin down onto your chest. Hold it there. Back into the middle. And tip the head back. And back to the middle. Now we're going to do a couple of additional ones. So this time you're going to come down onto the right, keeping the shoulders low still, but just bringing the right ear towards the right shoulder. You should feel a stretch down the side. And bring that back to the middle, and then over the other way. And back to the middle. And then this next one is a neck retraction. So it looks very attractive because the whole idea is you have to give yourself a double chin. So from here, I'm just going to pull my chin back. And you see I've got this lovely double chin there. Hold it there for about 5 seconds. And release back. So side on from here. I'm just pulling back. And release it. We're then going to do a couple of neck strengtheners. So starting with your right hand to the side of your head. And then you're going to push the head into the hand, but apply sufficient pressure that the head doesn't actually move. And you'll find these muscles down here are working. We're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change sides. And again, pushing into the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then take one hand, doesn't matter which one, around the back of the head. You're doing the same again. You're pushing into the hand, but apply sufficient pressure that the head doesn't actually move. 3, 2, 1. And same at the front. I'll do it at the same side. I find it easier if I have the palm facing outwards. And then again, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so roll the shoulders forwards. And changing direction. Roll them down into your back pockets this time. So you've got that nice long neck again. Keeping the shoulders low, just let the arms float up to the ceiling. And then come into a big circle out wide, reaching for the sides of the room. And floating up. Circling around, reaching out wide, stretching. 2 more. Keep the arms at shoulder height on the way down this time, and then just bring them in a little bit. If you have a bad back or any spine issues, just let your hips turn with your shoulders. Otherwise, you can keep your hips fixed forwards as the shoulders turn. One more each way. We're then bringing the arms down to our sides and slide down to the right. Try and keep the weight equal on both feet so that you're keeping the hips level, just extending down this side. Okay, so we're going to do another one for the shoulders. We've done it in a different position, so it's kind of the same exercise but from a different position. Bring the arms forwards, palms facing the ceiling, so it's like that. Then going to try and bring the arms out to the side. I have to say this is one I'm particularly bad at, so you may all find that you have a much better range of movement than me. Do a couple more. Try and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then bring the hands in onto the hips. So we're just going to warm up the legs and the hips with a half moon. I'll just step back a little bit. So toes pointed forwards, and then circle round till that leg is behind you, and bring it back through to the middle. If you want to, you can keep the foot off the floor slightly, otherwise just rest the toes down to maintain balance, which is what I'm doing. So just alternating legs. And then we'll reverse direction. So take it behind you and bring around to the front. Keep the toes pointed so you're stretching through the ankle as well. And then we'll just come into heel raise. So if you need to grab on, we're only going to do parallel ones, both feet together. But if you need to hold on, just steady yourself, do. So heels off the floor, hold it, and back down. Then coming up, hold it, try and keep the ankles in line. I've gone a bit wobbly there, you can probably see. And back down. Couple more. And then we're going to come into our warm-up, so we'll just start off gentle marching. You can pick it up if you want as soon as you're ready. And then we're going to come into a swing and sway. So take your feet a little bit further apart, transferring weight one foot to the other. Whoops, hit my shelf. And then include a knee bend in the middle if the knees allow. And coming back into a march. And coming to spotty dog. So one arm forward, tapping back with the opposite foot. So just taking it nice and slowly for this warm-up phase. One more on each side. And back to marching. We're going to come into heel kicks next. Focus of those is warm up the quads, get them a bit stretched out. So take the feet wider, hands onto the hips, and bring the heel up towards the bottom. Last one each side, and marching. And then we're going to come into some heel digs. So you're pushing the foot forwards, toes off the floor, heel pressed into the floor. You can bend the other leg a little bit. And then add the arms. So as the foot comes forward, so do the hands. Just reach forwards. That's good work. And back to marching. And then we're going to come into some half jacks. So arm and leg out to the side, same side. Again, just work to shoulder height if you need to. You take the arm over, above shoulder height, above heart height. It will increase the heart rate a bit more and your breathing rate. Last one on each side, and back to marching. So, hopefully everybody's feeling warm. You're all doing okay? Give me a thumbs up. Hopefully that is. And we'll take it down there. Just grab yourself a drink before we come into the main circuit. We're going to start with marching and fast feet. We're going to do a minute, up to a minute. So just do as much of that minute as you are comfortable doing and use the rest of it to recover. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I'll give you 2 lots of 5-second opportunities for fast feet, which you can do if you want to, but you don't have to. That's 15 seconds gone. And fast feet if you want. And back to marching. Great work. Fifteen seconds to go. And fast feet if you want to. And changing over. So the next one, we're going to do small circles, arms out to the side. 30 seconds each way could be quite hard, so try and go for 20 seconds and use the 10 seconds to recover, unless you're okay with 30. And off we go, circling forwards first of all. You just pedal through the feet, keep the feet moving, but we're focusing on the arms. That's That's 10 seconds gone. 15. So that's your 20. Rest there for 10 if you want. If you're okay, keep going. And change direction. That's 10 seconds gone this direction. Keep breathing. That's your 20 seconds. Rest there if you need, or we've got 10 to go. And rest there. Great work. So we're going to do sit to stand as the first lower body exercise. I might just do mine as squats because it annoys me when my chair creaks. So you can do squats instead if you want to. So slowly down, controlling that landing, and then standing up, off we go. And you can push the hips forwards at the top, just stretch out the hip flexors. That's 30 seconds down. Great work, everybody. 10 seconds to go. And changing over. So we've got skiing as our next cardio exercise. That's quite tough, coming straight after sit to stand, so make sure you pace yourself. We'll go in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Halfway through. Ten seconds to go. And changing over. So lower body exercise is the wood chop. So take your weights or your band if you have them. If not, we'll do it range of movements only. So if you have a band, have it coming out of the right side. Just a quick demo. You'd be holding so that you can feel a little bit of tension as you're holding by the hip. And you're coming across. It's kind of a reverse wood chop. If you are using weights, holding one again on that right hip, coming up and across. If you have spine issues again, don't fix the hips, just allow, in fact in all cases, just allow the hips to roll with the shoulders. 30 seconds each side, starting now. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed as you're bringing the arms across. And changing over. Last 5 seconds. And changing there. So lower body, we're going to do the RDL using the back of the chair, but we're going to only do 3 each side because we're going to hold each one for about 7 seconds. Very precise. So it's hands on the back of the chair. One leg mainly straight, but just don't lock it, so just have a slight bend. And then you're tilting forwards to the point where you can feel that the hamstring in the straight leg is working. And we're going to hold it there. Okay, off we go. And changing legs, we're going to alternate each time. And changing over. And changing over. So last one each side. Changing again. Sorry, Mark, I realised that that's not great for you, changing each time. And last one. So by doing this, we're strengthening the hamstrings, but also stretching them out. And resting there. Okay, so our next cardio exercise is the spotted dog. So it's one arm forward, tapping back. If you have light weights, and I would say nothing more than a 2 kilogram, you can hold them when you do it if you want to. So you just hold them and bring the arms up, then you're working the shoulders additionally as well. But that's up to you. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Halfway through. Last 15 seconds. And changing over. So for the upper body exercise, we're working the triceps and the back. We're going to do a rear press, which we have done before, but normally it's a faster move where we're bouncing. This time we're going to do hold and back. So press, hold and back. So you can either do it with weights, or it's equally with the band, or actually with body weight only. If you're using the band, again, hold and back. Just make sure, particularly if you're using the band, so that you don't arch the back, so keep the tummy pulled in. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So you're just pausing at the top of that move to make sure the muscles are controlling that. So we'll go for 30 seconds, then take a little pause and rest there if you need to. And off we go again. Last 5 seconds. And changing over. Okay, so this is a new or different lower body exercise. You need your chair. It works the front of the thigh, but it also works the inner thigh, the bit that comes down that inside of the knee. So if anybody has dodgy knees, it's actually really good for keeping the knees stable. So sit on the front third of your chair, because you want the chair to finish just under the top of the thigh. We'll start on the right. So bring the right leg out and have the toes pointing up to the ceiling. Now you can either hold on to the chair, hold on to the sides, or have your hands on hips, in which case you're going to be working the core more. And you're going to lift. Looks easy, feels sometimes like you've got a bag of coal over your foot. We're going to do that on each side for 6 reps. Then we're going to let the foot relax, so it comes out to that 45-degree angle, and lift again. And that's quite hard. It can be. Okay, so we'll give that a go. Starting on the right, toes to the ceiling, off we go. Remember to keep breathing. If you put your hand on your thigh, you should feel that that muscle is working. Changing legs. Toes to the ceiling, legs straight, lifting from the hip or from the very top of the thigh. And changing sides again. This time the foot's rotated, so the leg's slightly rotated, and you can feel it more on that inner part of the thigh by the knee. And change it. Last one. Well done. Okay. So we're into half jack now. And again, if you wanted to, you could hold the weights if your shoulders have still got something left. But you don't need to, they've done enough already. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Got 20 seconds to go, you're doing really well. Last 10. And rest it there. So we're coming to bicep curls. We didn't do those last week. You can either do them with your weights, you can do them from a standing position, or you can load the legs from that slight split squat position. And the slight split squat position is good if you're using a band. Okay, you all ready? I'll just wait a second. And in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So keep the elbows tucked into your waist, so you're keeping joint alignment and protecting the elbows. And changing arms, changing legs if you're in your split squat. Arms are just carrying on, obviously. Last 10 seconds. And stopping there. Okay, so we're coming on to pendulum. We'll do alternating legs this time, so we're trying to stand up really tall. Do it quite slowly because then you have to maintain the balance and the control for longer. And off we go. So it's all about keeping stable as you take that leg out, as well as working into those hips. Tummy pulled in, staying as tall as you can. Good. Nice pace. We've got 20 seconds left to go. And change. So this cardio, we're going to do the boxing. You can either freestyle or I'll take you through the hits. So I'll show you first. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, get down a bit, 5, 6, and then we'll do 7 and 8. I'll just cycle through that. You can either follow me or you can do your own thing. Just have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. If you're right-handed, have your left foot forward. If you're left-handed, have your right foot forward. And off we go. Just pivot on that back foot as you're hitting with that hand. Oh, I went wrong then. Keep the fists nice and loose. And we're there. Well done. Okay, so we're going to do wall press-ups now. Now, if any of you are finding them easy, try them with one hand. So normally, we'll have both hands on the wall. Let's move back a bit. If you're finding that that's now comfortable, try with one hand on the wall, but you're aiming to keep the chest parallel to the wall. So try not to twist if you're doing that. So then it's working the core as well. But that's totally up to you. I will tell you when you're halfway through in case you are doing it one-handed and want to change hands. Off we go. And we're halfway through. Last 10 seconds. And stopping there. Okay, so we're coming into the swing and sway. The last lower body exercise, but obviously it's up to you how much you actually do the knee bend. Okay, it's also a cardio exercise, so we get and upper body, so we get everything for this one. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Over halfway. Last 15. Last 5. And bringing it down there. Okay, so we've got one more pulse raiser to do. We've got our last march fast feet. If you need to grab a drink before we do it, do. Okay, so again, like last time, I'll give you 2 lots of 5-second opportunities to do fast feet. Back to marching in 3, 2, 1, off we go. And fast feet. Back to marching. Fifteen seconds to go. Fast feet if you want. And bring that back down. Brilliant, well worked. So we'll come into the core and balance element. So again, just get your chair, but grab a drink first if you need to. So we will start with pelvic floor. So starting with your knees together, bring your toes out to 45 degrees, heels out to join them. So we're checking that we have good alignment. We then want to get alignment through the back and the neck as well. So bring the arms forwards onto the thighs and just look forward to that point about 6 feet in front of you so that your head and neck are in line with the rest of your spine. You don't need to see the camera because I'll talk you through it. So remember, for these, you need to keep breathing, but you need to not contract the glutes, so not squeeze the buttocks as you're contracting up through the pelvic floor. Okay, so we're going to do slow twitch first of all. So pulling up as if you were about to prevent yourself from passing wind. Transfer your focus forwards. So you're trying to stop the flow of urine. Hold it there, keep breathing. Make sure the glutes are relaxed. And release. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So again, pull up through that passage, transfer the weight forward, the focus forwards, squeezing up, holding it there, keep breathing. And release. Okay, you're going to do a few more. So pulling up, starting at the back, moving forwards, pulling up, holding and squeezing there, squeeze tightly. Make sure the glutes stay relaxed. And release. Okay, next one, pulling up, starting at the back, moving forwards. Really focus on the muscles that are giving you that contraction. And release. I'm going to do one more. Pull up. Hold it there. And release. Okay, so as we do every week, we're going to come on to the fast twitch muscles. You have two types of muscles, slow twitch, fast twitch. They each have their place. So for fast twitch, we're going to pull in and release. Okay, off we go. I'm going to go for 10. Pull in and release. In and release. Still try and get as good a contraction as you did on the slow twitch. Pulling in and relaxing. In and relax. Go for 3 more. Relax. In, relax, and last one. In and relax. Good work. Okay. So I just spent the last 5 minutes telling you not to contract the glutes. So we're now going to do a glute squeeze. So hands on hips. This time you're going to squeeze the buttocks, contract and clench the buttocks, and you should find yourself just rising off the chair slightly as those muscles contract. Okay, so squeezing and relaxing, squeezing and relaxing. And again, having good strong glutes can help protect the back. Just keep squeezing and relaxing. Do 3 more. And relax. So another one I don't think we've done before, it's an isometric ab press. So it uses the same principles as the neck strengthener that we did at the start. So hands on your thighs. Now to get that abdominal contraction, you're going to try and press your hands down into your knees while almost trying to lift the knees up. So you should find that immediately those abdominals are contracted. So we're going to hold it there. And release. We're going to do a couple more of those. Make sure you keep breathing. So pressing down into the thighs, lifting the thighs up, so you're not allowing them to move. Keep breathing. And relax. And we'll do one more. And relax. And then bring the arms across the chest. Keeping the back straight, just tuck your chin down into your chest and lean back. Touching the back of the chair or as close as you're comfortable coming. Take it nice and slowly again, so you're having to control it for longer. And back up. 2 more. Okay, and then hands to ears. Unless that's uncomfortable, in which case just keep your arms over your chest. And then we're just going to breathe out to turn a small amount to the right, in, back to the centre, out, over to the other side. Now keep the shoulders low and the elbows wide so that you're keeping open across the chest. Now on this one, if you want to, you can add in that right knee raise as you're coming towards it. And you're just trying to keep your torso stable. So again, slow is good. Last one on each side. And bring the arms back down, just give them a little bit of a shake. In fact, take them down by your sides and then rotate round and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And relax, we'll do 2 more. And last one. Okay, so coming up to standing again. To make sure your chair is in a safe position if you're going to use it, we're going to do the incline plank. So hands on the chair, make sure it's not going to slide and you've got good footing on, you're not on a rug that's going to slide away. Right foot out, come onto the toes, make sure your tummy's pulled in, and left foot out. And we're just going to hold it there. So last week we did forearms as well, so if you wanted to come onto your forearms and hold it from that slightly lower position, you can. You can hold for another 5 seconds. And coming back up. Well done. Okay, so we'll do the warrior pose again, because that's quite good for working those inner thighs and getting the flexibility around the hip area. So you want a wider stance, wider than shoulder width. Toes are turned out to 45 degrees. And then going to lift the toes up on the right foot, rotate that foot so that it's pointing straight line away from you. And then lean into it. But if you watch my knee, you don't want the knee to go any further forward than the front third of that foot. Bring it back in. So to start with, we won't add the arms, we'll just keep the arms out of the way. So you're picking up the toes, rotating the foot, place it back down, small knee bend into it. And then we can do it with the arms. The arms out to the sides, and you're just going to try and hold them there. Toes up, turn, kneeling into it. There's a big crack in my knee then, don't know if you heard that. And coming back to the side. We'll do 1 more on each side. Brilliant work. Bring those arms down and just walk the feet back in under the hips. Okay, so just loosen up, give everything a little bit of a shake. And we'll come into stretching. So we'll do the calf first of all. Right foot back, heel off the floor. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. And then as you push that back heel into the floor, you want a straight leg on the back leg. Just let the front knee bend. So you can see there I've got a straight line through from my heel to the top of my head. If you prefer to do it on a wall, you can. Might give you a bigger stretch if you're very flexible. And then change sides. So other leg back, start with the heel off the floor, and then push the heel down as you bend that front knee. And bring the feet back in, back under the hips. Okay, so bring the right arm forwards, bring it across the body, and use the left hand to bring it in towards the body. You can push back into the hand if you want to. Just take some nice deep breaths. Set the heart rate down and relax. Changing sides. So other arm across and bring it in. Take that arm up to the ceiling, bend at the elbow, hand on the nape of the neck, and then just use your other hand to support the elbow. And changing sides. And then bring both arms back down by your sides. Take them onto the small of your back or interlink your fingers. Try and squeeze the elbows together so you feel a stretch across the front of the chest. And then bring the arms forward, have your elbows out wide. Keep the elbows wide as you just push the hands forward, letting the chin drop onto your chest. Just hold your right wrist with your left hand. Take a slightly wider stance. Arms overhead, and then just very gently pull to lengthen that right arm. You feel a stretch down the right hand side. And back to the middle, change hands, so you're holding onto the left wrist. And then slight bend, slight pull, just to lengthen that arm. Bring it back down, and then we'll do hamstring. So hands onto the back of your chair. Stand far enough away, probably almost arm's length away. And then just bending at the elbow so that you're supported, trying to bring the chest parallel to the floor. I say parallel to the floor, far enough so that you can feel a stretch down the hamstrings. And back up. So you need to hinge from the hip. You kind of, we'll do it one more time. You're pushing the bottom out behind you, hinging from the hip, keeping the back flat and holding it there. Coming back up to standing. Just bring the shoulders up to the ears and let them relax. Do one more. And then take a big breath in as you start to circle the arms up towards the ceiling. Stretch up when you get there. And relax back down.